Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. I am super grateful that you have joined me today on another day of our healing journey. Every single day is another day of healing. We are here learning so many lessons for the purpose of our soul's evolvement, and that involves our healing. We have agreed to come in to experience all of the different experiences here, and once we have those experiences, oftentimes we need healing in this lifetime, from this lifetime, and from others as well. And so today I wanted to talk about healing because this is something that all of us need. There's not a single person that I've ever met, not a single human being, not like I've met anyone who's not a human being. Well, besides animals, you know what I mean. I haven't met any aliens yet, but every single that I know of, every single human being has experienced some sort of trauma. There is not a single one of us that doesn't get by this life without having that experience in one way or another. It's part of our journey. And we agree to do these things because we have to learn. And we don't learn when we're comfortable. We just don't. We, because we're human, have to learn the hard way. And the reason for that is because of the contrast. Once we understand the depths of grief and sorrow, then we really, truly understand what true joy is. And when we have been so utterly traumatized and feel like nobody loves us, that's how we can truly learn to love ourselves, believe it or not. This is what almost every single higher self says. When I say higher self says, this is each client telling themselves this. So I talk to each client for a couple hours before we go into the session, the hypnotic session, the deep trance session. And in that couple hours that we're talking, there is one conscious mind perspective. And it is typically a very traumatic perspective. There's usually lots of fear, maybe guilt, shame, worry, whatever it may be. There's a lot of that consciously. But then when we go into this deep state of relaxation where we're talking to the higher aspect of themselves, it's a whole different story. From that aspect, they're here to learn to love themselves mostly. Because when we can truly learn to love ourselves, because guess what? Every single one of us is here learning that too. This is a really big lesson. And if I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. We are here learning the lessons of love. That means to understand what it means to love ourselves in the recognition of the oneness and unity that we are, and in that being able to really love another. Because is there really any others? No, there is not. There are no others. There is only one of us here. And every single mirror, every circumstance, every being, everything is our greatest teacher. And what that then means is that because there are no others, there is only one of us here, that then means that you are your greatest teacher. All of these clients that I see, they get these profound answers from themselves. I have absolutely nothing to do with it. I ask them very open-ended questions and they give themselves these answers. And the answers are consistent within almost every single client. Those answers are they've had these traumatic experiences to learn love, to learn compassion, to learn forgiveness. Every time. And so I want you to really think about this because I know it's a really difficult concept to wrap our brains around in our consciousness in this 3D material world. Like, why would I ever possibly do this to myself? In the grand scheme, you see that it is all here for your learning pleasure. It is all a game at the end of the day. And when we all cross over, we can see that. It's totally different from that perspective. We can see it from that larger perspective and understand, oh, I see what I was trying to learn there. I see how I could have done that better. All right, next plan. I'm going to go and see what I can do next and how I can do it better next time. Because maybe I learned one lesson that I wanted to learn, but that other lesson that I wanted to learn, I kind of learned it, but I could learn it better. So I'm going to go back and try again. That's kind of how a soul handles things. Totally different from our human perspective. And so I want to talk about what healing is today, because healing means so many different things. And also healing happens on so many different levels. We are a complex. We are a mind, body, and spirit complex. That means there's 3 parts of us that are always working together. They are never separate, always working together as a unit. And healing can happen on all of these levels: mind, body, and spirit. And within those, of course, there are levels. The mind has so many levels. And of course, so does the spirit. And believe it or not, so does the body. We actually continue in this hologram from macrocosm to microcosm, from microcosm to macrocosm, all in this holographic projection, this fractal projection of light, actually, that all started with the one. So since we started there, that is where we come from. And that makes us who we are. That is who we truly are. Creator source beings, fractals of creator source. We are beings of light, beings of energy. And so when healing happens, actually healing happens in a moment. It feels like it's an entire journey, and it is, because we're healing on so many different levels all of the time. But when we're focused on this one thing that we're working on, healing happens absolutely instantaneously in the moment that you become aware. So that awareness is like this light bulb moment where the light can come in, right? And so in that awareness is the understanding that allows for the healing to happen. That's all that needs to happen, is the understanding. And so you see, in this way, there is no one that can heal you but you. All of the healers and guides and teachers out there can only offer an opportunity of healing. An opportunity for you to take that stick and really look at it and understand it. Understand where it came from, why it came, and what you learn from it. And then learn how to be grateful for that thing because it made you who you are. And that is really big. When you can turn around and look at all of those experiences with gratitude, knowing that without those experiences, you wouldn't have learned the things that you learned. Maybe you wouldn't have learned to become empowered. You wouldn't have learned to be strong. You wouldn't have learned to love yourself. You wouldn't have learned what it means to have compassion or forgiveness for others. These are the lessons that our soul is learning here and is continuing to learn on our journey. And it does happen instantaneously in that moment of understanding. And so what can happen is we can have that moment of understanding. That light bulb can go off within us. That light can come and enter into all of those wounds, like Rumi said. It is within the wound that the light can enter. Something like that. And so when the light comes in, you are healed. What can happen is You can allow your consciousness and your doubt to come in, resist it, doubt it, and that light will allow itself to slowly fade because you have made that conscious decision. Now, this is the fun part about being human, because any doubt we have, any time we spend so much time in our conscious mind, and it's a great example of the contrast that we need in order to help to teach us. Because when we have doubt and we go through that process and we work through it, and then we come to the other end of it where we then can truly believe, then that belief is so incredibly strong. And so it's okay if that healing happens in the moment and then the doubt comes in and the healing goes away for the moment, because that light is you all around you. You can allow it back in with your understanding, with quieting that mind, with quelching that doubt down a bit, with settling down those fears and reminding yourself of who you really are. That love, light being that is nothing, there is nothing else that you can possibly be. And my clients are reminded of this consistently. And I'll tell you what, there is not, again, I'm going to say it again, there is not a single person that can heal you but you. This is your own personal journey. I often get many people who come to me asking questions in the vein that they would like to be healed, in essence. And I always try to explain to them that that's not how this works. That's not how anything works. These healings, these offerings of opportunity, that's all they are. Offerings of opportunity. Your spirit, your complex, decides if you are going to accept that or not. And then it also decides, if you do accept it, if it's going to hold on to it or not. And what a lesson that can teach as well. And so this is the biggest thing that I just want to kind of like hammer in, is that there is nobody else that will do this for you. This is your job all day, every day. It's a personal responsibility of yours as a soul to look within and ask yourself these really hard questions, because this work is not easy. You got to feel all the feelings. It's okay. There's so many feelings often that we don't even realize we're feeling. Some of those forgotten feelings, or unrealized, I shouldn't call them forgotten, unrealized feelings, are feelings of unworthiness. We don't realize sometimes how much we're not loving ourselves. Like I said, loving ourselves is one of our main lessons. I think almost all of us are here learning this. I don't like to generalize. I know everyone has their own lesson, of course, and how we learn our lessons is different for everyone. But this is the overarching lesson of this density, the lesson of love, learning the lessons of love for ourselves and for the whole, recognizing the unity within everything. And the reason why it's so important to remember that is because this is how you let the light in, by remembering that that's exactly what you are and seeing things from a different perspective. Every single one of my clients, when I ask their higher self, how are they going to feel after this? Or even if I ask my client afterwards how they feel, the answer is always lighter. Seriously, the answer is lighter. With all of these clients, every time I ask this question, the answer is lighter. The reason why it's lighter is because the light came in. We've become so dense in this physical existence that we feel unworthy. So many of us feel unworthy of this love, of this beautiful light that I'm talking about, feeling like, how could that possibly be me? I'm not worthy of that. How could I accept that? That is so many people's feeling behind the feeling that we don't really realize that we're doing. We feel unworthy to accept this immense love. But why? That is what we are. So if we can remind ourselves every day, all day, that every single cell is filled with this beautiful, infinite, iridescent light. And that light is love. It is the infinite love that is all that there is. There is nothing else that we can be. This light is what heals us. This light, this recognition of the light within ourselves is what heals us. And that recognition happens within ourselves. When we do this for ourselves, when we allow ourselves to step into all of that darkness and shine some light onto it, allowing that light to enter into that wound. It's okay. It's so much better on the other side. I promise. And I also promise that you are so much more worthy than you know that you are. I love you all so, so much. I'm going to leave you with the song for today that, funny enough, I was a little bit resistant to, but as I listened to it, I thought, wow, this is actually perfect. And the only reason I was resistant to it is because I've played it before. So I'm playing this again because I think it's perfect for what I talked about today. This is Trevor Hall, You Can't Rush Your Healing, except you can when it's instantaneous, although it's a journey. I love this song. You guys, I love you all so much. Until next time.
Also, before we cue up today's song, as a quick reminder, don't forget to download the Golden Key audio or ebook as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the Golden Key code POSITIVEHEAD. And please, if you enjoy my gift, leave a positive review on Amazon so others can unlock their lives with the help of the Golden Key as well.
Comes to me upon the strings when I hear it, well, I sing. I can't say it's my creation, staying patient, what it brings. Let me say I'm coming humble, I don't know what's right or wrong. I just keep on believing, passing down an old song. An old song. Well, everybody's got that chapter of dark and darker days. Saturn seems to be returning and his essence can't be tamed. Some we like to fight it, try and plan a secret attack. But the more you push it, the more it's pushing you back. So you can't rush your healing. Darkness has its teachings. Love is never leaving. You can't rush your healing. Your healing. Mama will, she told me time is such a wonderful gift. You're not running out, you're really running in. Confusion clouds the heart, but it also points the way. healing. Darkness has its teaching. Love is never leaving. You can't rush your healing.